Now let's get on to our top talker now. And Moderna is saying the redesigned version of its COVID booster appears to provide stronger protection against the Omicron variant than its current vaccine.
Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, joins us now. Monica, what are the clinical trials showing? How is it different?
You know, I'm really glad you said these are clinical trials. Very important to mention because this vaccine is still in clinical trials, not yet available. But if Moderna's data rings true, this is very good news. Its updated booster shot contains both the original spike protein and the newer Omicron variant. Moderna gave vaccinated volunteers a boost with this version and found antibody levels increased 8-fold. Moderna will submit its data to the FDA in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the agency is holding public hearings on which variants should be included in those updated booster shots for fall and who should get them. But there's a catch. These decisions need to be made as soon as possible and approval granted to make sure there's enough vaccine available for later this year.
So speak to me of variants and subvariants, that very topic of which you just hinted at.
Oh my goodness, it just never ends, right?
We knew it wouldn't, right?
No. Omicron, new subvariants, BA4 and 5. The CDC says cases doubled to 13% last week. We were at 1% in early May. Now, the subvariants are mostly hitting the southern states right now, and it seems that, this one spreads more quickly than the earlier versions, and it may be better at hiding from the immune system. That's concerning. So at this point, though, we do not know if they cause more severe disease. Preliminary research, though, indicates that unvaccinated people who were infected with the original Omicron are at higher risk for reinfection compared to vaccinated folks. And these subvariants, they come from South Africa, where they did spark a surge, but whether that happens here is a wait and see. And remember, that COVID vaccine was never intended to prevent you from getting COVID. It's meant to keep you from being hospitalized or dying from it. And since January 1st of last year, 95% of COVID deaths and 93% of COVID hospitalizations in Ohio were among the unvaccinated. So I think that's really key to understand the vaccines do work.
What's amazing about that, if you flip those numbers and just imagine in a dream world where everybody was protected with the vaccine, your hospitalizations are almost down to nothing, and so are your deaths.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, like, we're waiting on the FDA to sign off on the Novavax vaccine, and then, of course, the CDC has to do that. If those things happen, maybe we'll see another, maybe a little bump in those vaccination rates. But again, if you're due for a booster, you ought to get one. And coming up tonight at 6, I'll tell you what preliminary research out of the UK is saying about how long you might want to consider waiting before you get that 4th shot if you're due.
That's the big question. Do I wait till fall or do I get it now?
I'm not going to tell you till 6.
Watch it win.
Okay.
Thanks,
All
Monica.
right. Thanks, Mon.